Thank you for joining me with Designs of Value Online Art School. Today we're going to talk about transferring your design. I have my gray graphite paper here. I also have my transfer tracing pad, I should say, just a clear see-through piece of paper. I also have my see-through ruler, so it's easy to see where you're at. And I have my gray pencil as well as my red pencil. And the other item that you're going to need is your Scotch 3M tape. Now, what we're going to do today then is, I've already got a sheet of graphite paper, my tracing paper, and my designs. And we'll pick a floral to do today. These are going to be in your download, so be sure and take a look at them. Let's do the Calla Lily. That's very pretty. Now, if I were putting this right in my design, first thing I would want to do is trace it onto the transfer paper, the tracing paper. I always like to line it up on one edge. So I've got it right where it needs to be. I'm going to tape this right to the board here so it doesn't move around on me. A little bit easier to control that way. And all I'm doing is taking my design from underneath. I'm going to take my gray pencil. I'm going to put it on this see-through paper here so that we can see it. And it'll be easy for us to transfer to our hardboard, which is right here. Now, if this is your design and you don't like the outside line, now is the time to change it. Florals have to be soft and flowy, so you always want to go ahead and change it if you need to. And since this is my design, I'm going to take that option and fix this the way I want it fixed. There we go. Fairly easy floral design here. Now, if there was a lot of detail in here, all you really need to do is trace the outside line of the design. Once you start getting all that detail in, you're going to paint over it anyway. You're not going to see it. So there we go. Take this off of my board. There we go. Set my design aside, and I'm going to pull my board in. Now, what I want to do, the reason we use that ruler, it's really more for still lifes, but with this type of design as well, you want to make sure okay, so I've got that 5.5 inches there. Now, if I wanted this centered, and I would go 5.5 inches here. I would also make sure that it's right where I want it from the bottom to the top. So from where I stop tracing to the top, and that's important because you don't want to trace on your entire design, whether it be a floral or a still life, and then find out it's off center. I've done that. It's not a lot of fun. So now here's the graphite paper. It's been used. I like that. It's a little bit lighter than as it transfers down. The dark side goes to your board or to wherever you're putting your design. Light side goes up. Another little tip here is take your red pencil. If you go over it with the gray, you're not going to be able to tell where you are. But with the red pencil, I can tell exactly where I have gone. On this Calla Lily, and I can see where I've been and where I need to go, which is really nice, especially if you're doing an intricate design like a rose. Now I'm pressing fairly hard because I want you to be able to see this design on this board when I take this paper off. Normally I would not recommend that because it is called a hardboard, but you've got gesso on there, you've got acrylic paint on there. They come gessoed, but you can dent that, and you don't want that in your painting. So it's always important to go fairly light. But here again, I'm going dark. There we go. There's your transfer. Now you're ready to go ahead and paint. Let's go ahead and put on a still life design so you can see the difference there. I'm going to erase it on my paper first. I'm going to take my board and set it aside a little bit. And I'm going to line up this side of my paper. There we go. Not very straight though, so we'll fix that. There we go. So I've got it straight onto the paper itself. Get it down on that side as well. So now I'm going to use my ruler. And we're going to use the gray pencil to begin with. This is just a number 2 normal everyday pencil that you use. But it definitely does the trick. I like the Ticonderoga. They've got the best, easiest to sharpen, the best erasers. Another little tip there for you. This is just a triangle design. As you can see when you download your PDF, it's got all the different colors set up for you in there. So you've got highlight, light, medium, which goes around both sides. You've got your dark, dark, and low dark. So you have an actual right hand side light on that one. Okay. So we're going to set our design aside. And we'll put this right in here. Now you'll be able to see me measure it. Now I've got this, I'm going to bring this into the center so you can see it better. What I'm doing, and I'm doing this before I put the tape down because I want to make sure I have it right where I want it before I put that tape down all together. So I've got my ruler on that edge, but I also want to make sure that line of that ruler is completely lined up, and it is. So right there is good. And then if I was on the edge over there, I would do it on that side as well to make sure it was the correct distance there. Now, if I want to make sure that this is straight, get your edge straight here and get your line there. It looks good, so it's right where I want that to go. And light side up, dark side down. There we go. Let's get that ruler back out here. Again, you want to line up that edge over here because that's going to make sure that your ruler is straight up and down this way as well. So I've got my ruler lined up over here. That tells me I'm going to have a straight line. We're going to use the red pencil so we can see where we've been. Now this erases just as well. This is also Ticonderoga, but this erases just as well as if it were a brown or gray pencil, so you're good there. Line up your other side. And this side as well. Perfect. Now, if this were a vase, for example, and it was an object that you painted as a vase, and you really wanted to make sure it was perfectly straight, you would fold it right directly down the middle. Line up those edges, just like that. You can see through your tracing, your lines are lined up. If they're not, you can erase them and correct them as you need to, but that way then you know your tracing is dead center. But there you go, there's your tracing. And I do want to thank you so much for joining me with Designs of Value Online Art School, and we're going to be having some more classes real quick, so I'll see you then. Thank you so much.